realize there's been no American president who has a normal speaking voice? None. Now, you can go back as far as you want. None of them spoke normal. None. Like, go back as far, like JFK. JFK, he didn't speak normal. He had that thing. It was like, ask not what your country can do for you, but ask what you can do for. That's not normal. I don't care what anybody says. That's not normal. You telling me that man was standing in a McDonald's ordering food with that voice? Because they're like, could I please get a number 1 medium with fries? And I'll also have a McFlurry, please. What do you mean the ice cream machine is broken? That's not normal. No American presidents speak normal. None. Bill Clinton, he didn't speak normal. He always did that thing where it sounded like he was trying to seduce the audience. You know? They'd be like, I do not have sexual relations with that woman. What are you doing? No American president spoke normal. None of them. George Bush, he didn't speak normal. He always did that weird chuckly thing. He'd be like, gonna find the people that did this, and then we're gonna bomb a totally different country. Fool me once. That's not normal. No American president spoke normal. None. Barack Obama, he didn't speak normal. He always did that thing where it sounded like his voice was buffering. As Americans, we've got to try to get a faster internet. That's not normal. Joe Biden, he doesn't speak normal. You kidding me? He just like fades into mumbles every time he gives a speech. It's not normal. He'll be up there and be like, that's why the most important thing to understand is no dreams are the finest Negroes. Come on, man. Come on. Hey. I mean it. Come on. That's not normal. Trump, that was the weirdest of all. Every other American president was predictable. You know, you understood the ebb and flow. Trump, you never knew what to expect. Right? The volume on his voice all over the place, inflection where it didn't make sense. Do you know how hard it was to figure out where to put the volume on your TV when watching a speech? I had to sit there and write it like a shitty DJ the whole time as you speak, because you wouldn't know where it would happen. He'd be up there. I think as Americans, we try and try, so try, big trying, all trying, and it is. But I know, and I think if we can, what we won't, but we will, but maybe, but. What? It's not normal. That's why I laugh whenever I come to Canada and watch your news. Every time I come to Canada, I turn on the news and they'll be like, there's a Canadian scandal happening. Justin Trudeau in another scandal. He has the most adorable scandals. You kidding me? Compared to American presidents, what? And they're like, he's scandalous. Has he been convicted of anything? Then shut the hell up. And be like, he's scandalous. He's got the terrible, he slept at a rich man's house. Oh, it's adorable. My favorite scandal of Justin Trudeau's by far is the one where he went on a trip to India and then became Indian. That has to be one of the greatest scandals of all time. I remember when it broke. He took off. He was wearing a suit. He left Canada, waving on the plane. Goodbye. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. Got on, flew to India, landed, doors opened, and he came out, and he was already half Indian. He had the jacket on. But what was crazy was that as the trip progressed, he became more and more Indian each day. Clearly, no one was telling him what was happening on the news in Canada because Canadians were losing it. They're like, this is disrespectful. How can you do this, eh? And he was out there and he was just becoming more and more Indian. It started with the top and then he went down to the pants. He had the full outfit and then he had the headdress. My favorite was when he walked into a meeting with Indian dignitaries and they were all wearing suits. This man walked into that meeting looking like he was about to audition for Bakban. You're like, what the hell is this? He was getting so Indian that I was hoping a moment would come where he'd be like in the middle of a speech. And I was just hoping suddenly he'd be like, can I just say how proud I am of the work we've done together as Canadians and as Indians? I was hoping that would happen. I was waiting for it. The biggest scandal of all time. He became Indian. I don't think it was that bad. I just think he tries too hard, to be honest. You know, I think Justin Trudeau tries too hard to show he's compassionate, tries too hard, you know? I don't think it's that bad. And look, I'm biased. I know I'm biased. I am. Because I too have Trudeau'd. I'll confess it here tonight. I too have Trudeau'd, Canada. I too have tried too hard to connect with a group of people, and it did not go well. My story happened in Edinburgh, Scotland. Beautiful place. If you've never been, go. Stunning. Everything. The place is full of history. The people are lovely and warm. The place isn't, but the people are. Everything is old. They love telling you that. Everywhere you'll go in Edinburgh, people will be like, oh, how old do you think that bridge is? You'll be like, I don't know, they're like 300 years old. You'll be like, oh, okay. They'll be like, that church, 500 years old. Meet my son, 800 years old. He looks 6. Scottish workmanship. But they were wonderful people. It was really great out there. And we're there for a comedy festival, okay? And what I do whenever I'm traveling is, if I get to be in the same place as my friends, we try and spend as much time together. And what we'll do is we'll order like food or we'll go out. And when we do that, we allow one person to designate the meal. Nobody negotiates. Everybody gets to pick a day. And so whenever my day comes around, consistently, I pick Indian food. All right? Yeah, I think it's the best cuisine in the world. Nothing comes close. You don't agree with me? Let's meet in the parking lot. We can fight. I love Indian food. Loved it my whole life. And so we're in Edinburgh. I'm with my friends. They're like, where are we going? Trevor, what do you say? I'm like, Indian food. They're like, every time. I was like, yes, every time Indian food. I'm like, oh, it's the same. I'm like, then why do you keep asking me? If you know, you know. Stop asking me. And I searched for where we were going to go. Because I always try and find the most authentic Indian restaurant I can find. Like authentic Indian restaurants. Do you know what I mean? So what I'll do is I'll go to a place and then I'll ask around. I'll ask people, be like, where do you go? And then like, where the white people tell me, I don't go there. So I found this authentic spots. And I was so happy. Now, the reason it had to be so authentic, just so you understand a little bit of me. I grew up in South Africa, as you know, right? Now, what a lot of people may not know is that South Africa has one of the largest Indian populations outside of India. Right? One of the largest Indian populations outside of India. I know Canada's number one now. But when I was growing up, we had the single largest population of Indians outside of India. Yeah. So if India blew up, we were India. It was that close. And so I was lucky enough to grow up surrounded by Indian culture. Right? In fact, one of my best friends growing up was a little Indian boy by the name of Thiessen Pillay. And we were thick as thieves. I don't think you understand. Every single day we hung out together. We spent our recesses together. We were hanging out, eating everything together, everything. Because we had so many things in common, right? We met at the beginning of the school year and we had so many things in common. Like he liked running. I liked running. So Thiessen and I would spend every day together. And our ritual was simple. We'd go to all the classes that we did, and then we'd meet at what we called break time. And at break time, we'd sit and we'd eat our lunch together. Now, our lunches were very different, all right? Because Thiessen would get a packed lunch from his mom every single day. I would get money from my mom to buy food from the school tuck shop, we call it, right? Cafeteria, right? And so what we do is I'd go and I'd buy the food every single day. And it's like, because my mom couldn't cook, right? Well, she tried once and I was like, don't do this ever again. This is child abuse. Just give me the money. So I would buy the food every day. Thiessen, on the other hand, had food that his mom made every single day. And every single day, the meal was curry. I know this because every day we'd sit down together. Thiessen would open his little lunchbox. He would take out his little can of juice. He'd unwrap his sandwich. And there would be little triangles cut out. And then he'd pull it out. He'd open the bread, look inside. And then he'd scream at the top of his lungs. He'd be like, curry! Damn it, mommy. Every day. Every day. We'd sit down. I'd have my food. He'd have his. He'd take the juice out of the box. He'd unwrap the sandwich. He'd look in between. He'd be like, curry! Damn it, mommy. Every single day, without fail. Every day. Mutton curry. Lamb curry. Potato curry, every curry you can imagine, but it was curry every single day. Curry! It was my favorite part of the day. Some days I wouldn't even open my lunch for fear of missing the moment. I would just sit there next to him waiting, and he'd open it up and he'd be like, curry! And I'd mouth it next to him, damn it, mommy. Every day for months and months and months and months this happened. And then finally, at the risk of breaking it all, I turned to Thiessen one day. He screams like, curry! Damn it, mommy! And I was like, Thiessen, you know it's going to be curry every day. He said, what? I said, it's going to be curry every single day. Every day you open the bread, and then every day you're shocked and you're like, curry! Damn it, mommy! But it's always going to be curry. And he said, I know, Trevor. I know. I'm not shocked. I'm just disappointed. Right? Because every single day, right, I come to school and then every day I'm like, I'm going to eat lunch. And then every day I open a box and I know what it's going to be because last night we had the curry. Then what my mom does is she takes last night's curry, then she put it in a sandwich for me. And then that's the curry that I'm going to have today. Then I know when I go home tonight, I'm going to eat the curry. Then I know that's the curry that's coming the next day. So every single day I'm getting curry. It's curry and then it's going to be more curry and more curry. Trevor, I know I'm Indian, but it's too much, man. I just want something different, you know? They say variety is the spice of life, not just curry. I was like, oh, but listen, is it bad? I said, I don't even know anymore. I lost perspectives. Here, you can have it. And he gave me his curry sandwich. I bit it. And Toronto, there are moments in your life that will forever shape who you are. Moments that will define who you grow on to be. This was one of those moments for me. I put that sandwich in my mouth. I bit down and my mouth came alive. My tongue discovered its purpose. I didn't know potatoes could pop like that. The flavors were bouncing around. My eyes opened wide. It was, I was like, wow, I was like, curry! Thank you, mommy. And I said, listen, this is amazing. You eat this every day? And he's like, every damn day. And I was like, well, okay, let's swap. I'll give you my money for tuck shop, and then you give me your curry food every day. And we did that. We traded. And let me tell you something now. You thought we were best friends before we turned into soulmates. Yeah, because we both got everything we dreamed of, right? I got to have a home-cooked meal every single day. And as an Indian person, he got to start a business. Thiessen was in heaven. It was perfect. And since then, I've loved curry.